The movement of Ukrainian armed forces infantry was detected in the immediate vicinity of the village of Gornal. These infantrymen, who were in temporary deployment points, were subjected to both artillery shelling and drone strikes. This group of Ukrainian infantrymen had to constantly relocate under intense attack. They were wounded, and several infantrymen were killed in each attack. Security in this village was restored, and the Russian flag was raised. Russian forces also destroyed armored vehicles and other ATVs that came to the rescue of the infantry in Gornal, preventing Ukrainian forces from attempting to attack in this direction.
Don't forget to leave your opinion about the video in the comments, subscribe, and like.
Russian combat groups enter a populated area near Pokrovsk and capture Ukrainian armed forces soldiers trying to hold the defense. Toretsk direction. Russian attack drone destroys an abandoned armored personnel carrier in one shot. Then Russian FPV attack drones destroy a Baba Yaga drone of the Ukrainian armed forces in mid-air. In addition, Russian drones shoot down enemy drones from the air using fishing line or something similar to fishing line. The fights in the air and on the ground continue. Anti-tank mines laid on the road are detonated thanks to the bomb dropped by the drone. On the same day, in the same direction, Russian FPV drones destroyed a large number of bunkers and trenches of Ukrainian troops. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. Chechen President Ramzan Kadyrov has released footage of the destruction of a Ukrainian armed forces group attempting to infiltrate the Kursk region from the Sumy region. Akhmat is a joint operation of 2 Special Forces brigades and 15 Tank Regiment. UAV operators of the 43rd Independent Special Forces Company of the Vostok Group and the 36th Independent Guards Motorized Rifle Brigade struck a Ukrainian armed forces ruined house in the settlement of Bogatyr. The house was destroyed. The condition of the infantrymen is currently unknown. UAV operators of the 140th Guards, Anti-Aircraft Missile Brigade, and the 43rd Independent Special Forces Company of the Vostok Group destroyed an Air Force bunker in the Bogatyr settlement. Su-34 crews of the 11th Guards Air Force and Vostok Air Defense Group operated with an FAB-3000 of the UMPK against Ukrainian armed forces positions in and around the village of Zelenoye Polye. In the Sumy region near the Russian state border, a Ukrainian infantryman tried to operate a camouflaged ATV of the Ukrainian armed forces. However, a Russian FPV drone spotted what was happening and prevented the infantryman from using the ATV. The ATV vehicle was destroyed. The infantryman ran away from the scene. Objective image of the destruction of the bunker of the armed forces of Ukraine. Russian forces are advancing towards the Dnipropetrovsk region, destroying the defenses of the Ukrainian armed forces. First, a camouflaged mortar position of the Ukrainian armed forces was destroyed. Then, an airborne Baba Yaga heavy helicopter-type drone was shot down by a Russian FPV drone. Next, the Russian FPV drone shot down and destroyed the Ukrainian MLRS, which was camouflaged. In the Novopavlovsk direction, the assault groups of the center group of troops fearlessly attacked from the fields and with the help of a ladder crossed a deep ditch and entered Kotlyarivka. It is dangerous to run across the field in the middle of the day, because you can easily be attacked by drones. But these fearless and brave Russian soldiers risked everything to complete this mission. Now it's time to cross the ditch and fight at close range. (150th Division, 8th Guards). All volunteer army destroys temporary deployment points of the armed forces of Ukraine. Such attacks have a negative impact on the morale and physical spirit of the infantry, which ensures the advance and superiority of the Russian forces. Leave your thoughts on these videos in the comments. Russian self-propelled howitzers and other artillery units continue to destroy positions and strongholds of the Ukrainian armed forces. As a result of one of the shelling, an explosion occurred. Sumy direction. Drone strikes with fiber optics are scrapping armored infantry carrier vehicles and tanks of the Ukrainian armed forces. (21st-century ambush operations). A fiber optic drone sits on the ground near a logistical artery and takes off as soon as an enemy vehicle appears on the road. There's no chance of that. What do you think about drones ambushing vehicles or infantry? Don't forget to join our Telegram group. The artillery crews of the Grad multi-barrel rocket launcher systems of the airborne forces are constantly attacking the combat equipment and personnel of the airborne forces. A fiber-optic FPV drone captured a Ukrainian soldier on a communications tower in the village of Slobozhanska in the Kharkiv region. The frame also includes the crash of the FPV drone of the Molnya II type aircraft into the communication node at the base of the tower. A destroyed BTR-4 of the armed forces of Ukraine can be seen in the background. There are few infantry left to hold the last bits of territory in the Kursk region. Russian troops continue to work without a break. Artillery hit the infantry hiding in a house. Ukrainian soldiers were caught in an unexpected ambush by the Russians. The fierce fighting took place at very close range. "98th Airborne Division paratroopers destroyed a kamikaze UAV of the Ukrainian armed forces in the air. They destroyed the UAV with good shots from a long distance. FPV drone operators of the assault unit of the 5th Independent Guard Tank Brigade of the Russian Armed Forces combat work with the Vostok Group in the southern Donetsk direction. In the footage, the reconnaissance unit monitors the movement of the Ukrainian Armed Forces infantry. Then, when the movement of the infantry is stable, an attack drone approaches their position and destroys them wherever they are. In the footage, the fiber-optic drone Prince Vandal of Novgorod is used. Thanks to this, in case of any REB system, the drone can continue on its way without losing its movement. Russian reconnaissance has uncovered a mortar position of the Ukrainian armed forces. First, the artillery unit fired a powerful artillery shell at the position. Then an FPV drone was launched and penetrated into the position, destroying it. A Russian FPV drone ambushed a pickup truck of the Ukrainian armed forces in the direction of Kharkiv. These images have become common lately. Instead of flying in the air, drones ambush on the ground on the road. Garan-2 kamikaze drone destroys Ukrainian armed forces trucks loaded with ammunition in Sumy. An artillery position in a forested area was spotted from the air by reconnaissance drones. The coordinates of the position were precisely recorded and reported to the fiber-optic drone operators. The fiber-optic drone set out to hunt the vehicle. The operator of the 27th Artillery Regiment shot the howitzer through the bushes. Judging by the characteristic details of the barrel, this is a Paladin self-propelled howitzer. It's worth about $220,000 US. It was destroyed by a drone worth only $1,000. Such are the economics of modern warfare. A small drone can destroy equipment worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. In the Lipsy residential area, fiber-optic drone operators destroyed an American-made Humvee. The crew left the vehicle as usual, leaving the door open. Why do you think this could be happening? Leave your thoughts in the comments. The Humvee was first attacked by artillery, then the fiber-optic drone delivered the final blow. Sumy region. A T-64BV tank of the armed forces of Ukraine was detected in a forested area 2.5 kilometers from the state border. The fiber-optic drone, Prince Vandal of Novgorod, slowly approached the tank and destroyed it with one hit. The tank slowly burned to scrap. Kursk region. Near the village of Oleshnya, Grad MLRS units of the Air Force launched intensive strikes on the area. Two S-1 Gvozdika of the Ukrainian armed forces was destroyed in the direction of Kramatorsk. According to the latest reports, Russian troops continue to advance in the direction of Kramatorsk. All equipment and installations in this direction are being destroyed, and the advance is gaining momentum. The fighting in the region continues in full intensity. Russian drones destroyed the equipment. Then the ammunition inside the equipment exploded, and a powerful explosion occurred. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. Two Russian soldiers are struggling to fulfill their company commander's mission on the front line. They are trying to survive in an open field under heavy fire from Ukrainian artillery. Ukrainian artillery forces could not hit two Russian soldiers despite all their efforts. Then, as the soldiers continued on their way, this time they came face to face with a Ukrainian attack FPV drone. A Russian soldier made a clever move. The Russian soldier threw his rifle at the Ukrainian attack drone. In this way, they survived the attack unscathed. After surviving the artillery and drone attacks, the two Russian soldiers continued on their way. Here are the images of Russian soldiers fighting from the front line. UAV operators of the Baikal Group of the Reconnaissance Battalion of the 40th Independent Guards Marine Brigade destroyed a drone control point in Otradnoye. The fiber-optic drone, Prince Vandal of Novgorod, was used in this attack. The fiber-optic drone first destroyed the entrance door to the basement. The second other drone penetrated into the basement and caused the basement to collapse.